everyone, and welcome to another episode of BTR Beyond the Ropes. I'm your host, Retro Relapse, aka Fernando. With me, as always, my tag team partner, my brother from another mother, the broski of the evening, Randizzle,
What
aka Randy.
what's going on? Another Tuesday night edition.
Damn right, we are on the Top Rope Tuesday topic event, and we came to bring you some hot guys. Hot guys. We're gonna bring you that. You know, we like to roll around in the sheets per se. We do like to look out there and see what's going on that people are talking about, or at least putting out there, putting things out there for us to read and see. I mean, people still read, right? I mean, I just
I
watch
don't
TikTok
I don't
videos.
know I don't
I
know
don't
how to
know.
read. I don't know how to
Oh
read.
well, what's
What
a magazine?
what do I do with my hands?
but
What do I do with my hands?
you know, I mean, not only just what's going on there in the events of the world, but we also like to dream up shit too. And we kind of want to touch on, we got Night of Champions coming up this weekend, Saudi Arabia,
12
and
o'clock,
there's a
right?
lot of stuff going out there too. Uh, but not only that, we also want to bring up some like dream matches, because it's like we talk so much current wrestling. Why not just add in some Fable with it too? It's like why not put some shit together? Just because like I can dream, right? I think that's the slogan, right? I can dream.
I don't know. My dreams turn into nightmares usually, so I don't know.
Uh, well, I'm glad I'm a beacon of light from time to time. Shit, I like being sunshine. Fucking
Party
a.
time. I like to party.
But what we're gonna forbidden door it with current rosters. Just throwing a few out there, just to get a feel for what's up, and hopefully you guys in the chat, you guys on the comment sections, on the socials, on the video playbacks, the VOD playbacks, wherever you get your social media. Throw some comments in there. Tell us what's up. If you want to hit us on the DMs and tell us that we suck, I don't give a shit. We just want some interaction because we want to just talk wrestling with you guys.
Maybe you can
So
throw in some things that we missed, or maybe dream matches or fantasy bookings that you think, man, they didn't even touch on this because
a lot of
A
times
New
we don't.
Japan mark. I'm a New Japan mark, or maybe I'm a Luchador mark, and me and Fern, we watch enough, but we're obviously super busy, so we stick to I guess I would say the major promotions usually. So
Hmm. Yeah, whatever we can catch on at the time. But I love seeing the stuff in the socials when they bring up a lot of indie stuff that is just randomly going on, or somebody from the big shows going to the indies and just cause a ruckus. It's awesome, man. It really
yeah,
is.
hell yeah.
But you know what? Let's talk a little bit about hot guys. What's going on in Saudi Arabia? What's going on in WWE? Night of Champions is coming up this weekend.
This weekend,
And as always,
the unofficial sponsor of this
unofficial sponsor.
BTR show.
That's right. And always a big shout out to the SmackDownHotel.com.
Got it in there. You know
There
it.
it is. There it is. I was like, were you going to do it? Or
I'm
do I
gonna
have
do
to
it.
do it?
I'm gonna put it on the. I'm gonna push the little button, and you're
There
gonna
you
hear
go.
Joey Styles give you the "Oh
Oh
my
my
God."
God. Perfect. Perfect. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at?
And don't forget, like Fern said, to hit the socials, hit that follow and subscribe button. Go ahead and throw a phenomenal forearm on that bad boy. Hit us with some comments, some ratings. That definitely helps us on for analytics. So, but we appreciate you tuning in another Tuesday night.
Yes. So, depending on where you live, we're Texas boys. It's going to happen here at noon, high noon, Central Time. If you're on the East Coast, it's at 1 in the afternoon. If you're on the West Coast, it's at 10 a.m. Everything going on overseas is a little bit later.
Let's play a game. You know how you did the arm drag game, the drinking game?
Yeah,
Every
luchadors.
time Michael Cole looks disappointed, take a shot. That's a lot.
It's going to be a lot this one. Well, let's go over what they have so far on the matches. I mean, they have a pretty decent card. One, two, three, four, five, six matches so far. There may be a seven, depending on what happens on SmackDown. But here we go. Sami Zayn versus Karrion Cross.
It's finally gonna happen after all the antagonisting things that Karrion Cross has been doing to Sami Zayn. Is this the turn? Is this where he lures him like a cult leader? I don't know. Or is this Sami Zayn fed up? All I care about is Karrion Kross is getting a spot finally on a pay-per-view after almost a whole year of not even being remotely featured on a pay-per-view. So, pretty pumped. See what happens. I mean, granted, I told you Sami Zayn was in on the finals for King of the Ring, and he lost to Randy Orton. So,
RKO. But
yep.
you know what? You touched on Karrion Cross. I mean, does Karrion actually make Sammy snap that he wants to turn heel? Not necessarily join him, but Karrion just messes. He's already played the mind games. You saw that Sammy got upset enough that he on that backstage little vignette, or the little talk that they had. Karrion there he is, playing his little mind games, and Sammy snapped and just decked him right in the face and called for the match. So
Yeah, Karrion
does
Kross is
this?
instigating it. If he's
Oh, yeah, yeah,
instigating it
yeah.
out of him, which is what he wants. That's the
But
whole
what I'm
point.
trying to get is Sammy gonna turn heel? I'm not saying we're putting Karrion over. No, not at all. But does he do things that gets him disqualified and then starts beating them up afterwards, and then we get a heel turn from Sammy? I mean,
You know what? I think it's time because Sami Zayn as a face, it works when he's with Kevin Owens, but he's been
hmm
playing sidekick too long to everyone else, to Cody, to Jay, to
hmm
Orton, to everyone else. That now, when he was a heel with the Bloodline, still entertaining, but he did whatever it took to win, and that's the
hmm
Sami Zayn that I want to see again. Someone who's he hasn't been a world champion. He is one of the only few people who hasn't held a major singles title, so it's
hmm
time for him to do whatever it takes for himself.
And you know what? I don't mind it, but we are getting too many heels in WWE that we don't have enough faces. So if you're gonna take another face and turn them heel, who do you push or who do you put in spot that's gonna give us another face that will help out the situation? Because
It's happening
think
now,
about
though. It's happening now. Jacob Fatu was a heel. Now he's turned on pretty much on Solo, and now he's face. Dominic
okay.
Mysterio is booked as a heel, but he's getting face reactions. It could be only a matter of time where he might be a tweener. So it's starting to slowly happen because you're getting
hmm
organic heels like Cena doing the turn, Ron Killings, R-Truth trying to go heel, Drew McIntyre still got a strong heel. CM Punk is starting to start teeter because they started booing him and started cheering John Cena this past Friday. So again, it's starting to organically happen. Randy Orton's about to be in this pay-per-view against Cody Rhodes. People love Cody Rhodes right now. Randy Orton is okay with being the heel, so that might
Yep.
slide him that way. So again, I think it's okay to flip flop some people, and again, I see what you're saying. There is a lot of heels, but it's starting to look like there's starting to be a lot
And
of
you
turns.
can't put a lot of heels versus each other on WWE TV because it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
You can do that in AEW and it'll fly all day long because whether they have their old bad blood or beef or whatever they bring up, and there you got two sets of heels. It works for whatever reason over there, but WWE TV it doesn't because they've already put it in our heads for so much that they want it to be like that. Then what do you do?
Yeah, exactly.
Next on the card, we have the street fight: Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. This is
They finally went.
turning interesting. This is turning interesting
They've
where
touched
they kind
back.
of Judgment Day is pushing for Raquel to be that enforcer now that you're dealing with Liv with an injury. Now supposedly Dominic Mysterio has an undisclosed injury that hasn't been put out there. I don't know if he's being chicken shit not wanting to go to Saudi, but I was reading on the sheet something also. I don't know if you saw this that they're kind of um pushing for Dominic and Liv once Liv comes back from her injury, because it's going to be a few months. I don't know how long Dom's going to be out. I'm pretty sure he'll do backstage stuff, but maybe when they come back from Saudi. But they're going to push them as faces, like you were saying.
Again, I mean, it doesn't hurt because right now in the Judgment Day, Finn is really the only real heel, and Roxanne's kind of like the uh, sub heel, right? JD McDonough is just going with the flow. He just got back from injury, and he's just like, hey, dude, I'm cool with Finn, I'm cool with Dom, I'm cool with everybody, but Finn's still my boy. So he might lean towards that because they were going after tag team gold. So I don't not see it happening. So let Raquel be an enforcer because her and Rhea Ripley have had programs in NXT. They're big women who are good friends and they love to fight each other. So it's not going to be too big of a deal for them to go into it, and they're already starting to have a nice program that really gets Raquel involved, so those tag team titles don't start teetering. We're like, well, we gotta pull them off for you, you know?
Yeah, no, because I'm surprised they haven't really set what they're going to do with those tag team titles because it looks like they're starting to form more little tag teams with people. You see Natalia hanging out with Maxine Dupree now, so they're trying
Yeah,
to push that. It kind of looks like they're going to put Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss together. So I mean, I think they're slowly seeing what they have to do now because if you're going to make them relevant or keep them relevant, you can't just let one sit on them knowing that the other's going to be out for months because we don't know. They haven't fully disclosed, or WWE hasn't really said how severe the injury is. It's speculated by a bunch of different people, but there's no actual confirmation from the source that there was a tear or it's something that's just sore or if there's going to be surgery needed and she's going to be out for 6 to 8 months. We're waiting to hear it. And I'm tired of hearing all these other people act like they know what's going on. It's like you're not in the circle, dude. Like you're just regurgitating other bullshit and you're making it up just so you can sound relevant. Like stop going for the ratings and give us some truth out there, you know?
yeah. There's dirt sheets where people give you, and just like anything, you take it with a grain of salt. There's some truth to the lie, right? There's some truth to the lie. Is Liv Morgan hurt? Yes, that's the truth. How bad? Well, you don't know because we're not the doctors who fucking saw her. So shut the fuck up, right? That's all you can do. But
Exactly. Thank you.
but regardless, I think that match might be really good, making
So
it a
who do you
gimmick
got? Who do you
match.
got on top?
I'll go with Raquel because she helped Roxanne the other day, and I think Roxanne's gonna help her just to kind of really embed
I
herself
was
into the
about
thing.
you. Did you see on Raw that after uh Raquel had her match or whatever had happened, that there's she came out to interfere or whatever, fucking here comes um Roxanne and they're hugging at the end.
Yeah,
So
they're also Latinas, so you kind of
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I mean
you play a line. They're both from Texas. They're both from Texas,
yes,
so you play
and
it play to their strengths.
correct. But are they gonna remember you're being recorded on WWE TV? Are they gonna actually show that later when Liv comes back? And that's also a help in the
The turn,
split that they're
the
trying to
turn.
do.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. It's all long term storytelling, right? You put little snippets that happened 8 months ago. Oh shit! Hey, guess what? I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw you help Roxanne. Yeah, I fucking hate you. But you just a second ago you just said you fucking hated her. So which is it? You know?
Make up your mind.
So
Yeah, I want to see. I want to see. Give us more drama with the women.
exactly. Yes, please. You're
The
leading to
men, you
evolution.
can get the men drama any fucking day because we got so many of them. But give us some more women drama because it makes it worth it, especially when you're throwing people. An imploding faction always brings good drama.
And then you're leading to one of your summer pay-per-views or PLE's Evolution Part 2. You need women building up drama for this big pay-per-view that they're going to have on top of SummerSlam at
Yes,
the
you
end of the
do.
summer.
Evolution. That's right.
So you have SummerSlam at the end of the month, you have Night of Champions, and then you have Evolution in the middle. So you really need to kind of start playing up these women's stories. You just have to.
Yeah,
So
especially knowing that Liv was already slated to see to what they were already pushing the storyline with her and Nikki Bella.
yeah,
Now that's not going to happen. They were kind of already teetering on one with her and Io Sky.
not
Now it's not
gonna.
going to happen. There was another one that looked like they were working on too. Oh, her and her following Roxanne. Now it's not going to happen.
So yeah, that's the sucky part when there's injuries. You the whole script has to change, and you have to kind of start playing it by ear, day week by week. So we'll see what happens and go from there. But what is the next match?
Like Carrion says, TikTok. Only time will tell. TikTok. Next on the list, we've got the WWE United States Championship on the line. Jacob Fatu, the champion, versus Solo Sikoa, with
Fatu.
JC Mateo probably in tow.
I mean, again, if you're gonna get over Jacob as a fucking face, and he's about to fight his former faction leader, his family member, and you're pushing Solo as a heel, and he's a funny heel too. I'll give him that. He's a funny heel, so I want to see it. It
Hmm.
finally imploded. You saw him turn on him at Money in the Bank, so now it's just time to have a payoff for all this drama with that. So
Hmm.
I'll say Jacob Fatu on this one
I
retains.
want to know if Jimmy's going to come out and help Jacob because he's already done it once. He's already stuck his nose out there for Jacob once, and they kind of had that stare off kind of thing. Like, I don't know if I can trust you yet, but I see what you're
Yeah,
doing. because Jimmy still has beef with Solo.
Yeah. At the end of the day, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's exactly the
Right.
situation right here.
Next on the card, uh, the Queen of the Ring finals match. Now you know what? I I wasn't feeling Jade getting going forward when she beat Roxanne. That's why all that happened with what's her name coming out. But I'm damn.
I told you it was gonna be Jade and Asuka,
I know we have to play that back. You did not say that.
and I also said it was
You
gonna
mentioned
be
Jade, but
Orton.
you didn't
I
say
was gonna
Oscar
say
because we
I
didn't
was
even know Oscar was going to be in this. That's why I was
you
like,
did. It
no,
was
run
her
it back, get
returning
the
match,
receipt. You
and
didn't
you.
say nothing about Jade and
I
Oscar.
also said Randy Orton
No,
and
you did
Cody
not.
Rhodes, and got that one too.
And that's incorrect because we said both could happen. We said Randy and Cody could happen, and we also said that Sammy and Jay could happen. So you
But
didn't. You were not. You're never
yes,
correct. You're
yeah, there it
never
is. There it
bull.
is.
Run it back. Then I want you to pull those tapes. I want someone to call it out
I'm
because
gonna
you're
insert
never
it.
solid.
I'm gonna wait.
You
I'm gonna insert it right here, and you'll see.
you never are. I ask you a yes or no question, and you give us 30 minutes around it. You never say, "I want this guy to win." So
You give me the 30
pull the
minutes.
tapes.
We have
Pull the
flip
tape.
rows. We have flip rows
Pull the tape.
in this podcast. We have done flip the rows. You're the one with the rants now, and I'm the
Pull the
one that's
tapes
subtle.
because I know I'm the one with the rants. You're the one that never settle on who's gonna win. And say, I said it. I said it. No, you thought it to yourself. You didn't put it on tape, and then it shows up
It's
there.
on
It's like,
tape.
look, I know what I told you. Who are you talking to? Your dogs? Because you ain't talking to me about it. You ain't talking to our fan base about it.
You're my
You're
dog.
talking to yourself about it.
Come on, dog. You're my dog.
I ain't no damn dog.
You're my
I
dog.
ain't no damn dog.
Like Sami Zayn used to say. What up, my dog? Come on, dog.
uh, but we have the winner of the Queen of the Ring final gets a women's championship match at her brand at SummerSlam, and it's Asuka versus Jade Cargill. And like I was
Are they
starting to
both on
say,
Raw? Are they both on Raw?
no, Asuka is on Raw and Jade Cargill's on SmackDown,
Okay.
and I am not a fan of this match. Just right off the bat, I think Roxanne should have moved forward, and Jade Cargill should have stayed behind.
I think this is what it is. Because Liv Morgan got hurt, they had to pull Roxanne to go a different route, to change shit for Revolution. I think that's really what it is. Because of that, right? And the only people who aren't technically involved in storylines right now, because Alexa Bliss has some issues with Charlotte, like
Hmm.
they're running that back for probably Evolution.
Hmm.
But Asuka just got back, so she has no beef right now. And
Don't
finally,
pin everything on Evolution. Don't forget about Saturday Night Main Event because they got to put some fucking
yeah,
matches together for that thing too.
that's it. But what I'm saying is, Asuka just got back. Was what was the girl's name? The girl's group name? That
Uh,
disbanded.
Damage Plan,
Damage Control
Damage Control.
just
No, Damage
disbanded.
Plan's Dimebag.
Yeah,
My
that,
bad.
yeah.
That's Dimebag.
Damage Control just disbanded like officially, and Kairi Sane's doing her own thing. Asuka's now doing her own thing. She's been out for a long time. I didn't think
Also,
they did anything for her.
they should have disbanded that shit a while back because Dakota Kai was kicked out and given her pink slip. You know.
Yeah, but online at WWE, they said they just officially disbanded like a week or 2 weeks ago.
Oh my god.
So again, like I said, so it's now you have Io doing. She's the champion. She's doing her thing. You have Kairi Sane
Hmm.
doing her own thing, and Asuka just
Yeah, you have
returned after a
Kyrie
long
saying
time.
hurting people.
She hurts people.
You would
She
think
might be
she's
part
in the
of
hurt.
his
You would
syndicate.
think she's the WWE's hurt syndicate because she hurts people. She hurts people.
But I think that's why they put this together. I'm with you. I like Jade. I like Asuka, but there's no real build up for this. And even if either one of them win, I don't care to see them fight their respective champions on each show. There's no build up
Okay,
for it.
so let's say we go here. There's no any kind of movement or changes, and we get the champions as they are at SummerSlam. Jay Cargill wins. She's SmackDown, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Heels guy.
Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton for the belt. How do you feel about that?
It's gonna be a slow ass match.
Who's on top?
I'd push Jade. She's been there for 2 years. So Jade Cargill.
I
Tiffy's not doing
agree.
anything. Tiffy's not really doing anything. That's the problem. Yeah, yeah. It's hard, right? Because you're just kind of like, well, I guess.
Actually, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here.
Okay.
Neither one of them win. Naomi cashes in
I would take that. I would take that win.
because I don't want to see
Oh
Tiffany
wait,
with the
wait.
belt anymore.
I would say like what happened when Io Sky cashed in Bianca Belair. Jade Cargill wins, and right immediately Naomi just comes in, cashes in after she's all jacked up, real quick. So she has the win on her record
And it
for a
builds a
minute,
program.
and it builds the program towards
Hmm.
SummerSlam.
Okay.
So
So Asuka versus Io Sky.
I want to see that. I would run that back. We never got an official because they joined together with Damage Plan or Damage. Now you got me saying it. Damage Control. They got Damage Control, so we never really officially saw a good match like they used to have in Japan. So I would run. I would prefer to see that Asuka win and her go because she's technically a face right now. Just have her go
Hmm.
against Io Sky and see what happens there. Because just these past week on the build up for at least the men's side of the King of the Ring tournament, face versus face works right now. Maybe not heel versus heel, but face versus face works because it's you get cheered for both, and whoever wins, you're not really disappointed because you kind of like them both. So
Hmm. Well, speaking of the next match, and I will before I go to the next match, I will agree with you, and I want to see Asuka take the Queen of the Ring over Jade
absolutely,
because I see Asuka really giving it all against Jade, and I see Jade fumbling through this match like she did with Roxanne.
yes, I
She
agree.
she can't handle the cues. She really can't unless she's in charge running the dance and it's a slow dance.
She
She's still green as fuck.
she can't run with fast, short, small women. Can she overpower them? Absolutely, but she just
Hmm.
can't keep up the pace for it to make sense at all.
Yep.
So
Hmm. Uh, the King of the Ring final. Winner gets a world champion match of his brand at SummerSlam. Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes.
aren't they both SmackDown technically?
Mm,
Yeah, they're both SmackDown.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Uh,
this is a good match because, well, they run it. Both of them either run it back with John Cena, which is going to work either way. And since Cody Rhodes has been back, I've been wanting him to see. I've been wanting him to fight Randy Orton, and they were about to start that program. Seemed like, and then the whole John Cena and the final boss thing happened, and that kind of took a left turn. So
see, that doesn't make any sense because it's supposed to be brand versus brand.
no, because
And
it was a finals, and then those two, and there's
oh,
yeah, there was
yeah,
no yeah.
yeah, no. My apologies, sir. I was under the impression that it was going to be brand versus brand at
Gotcha.
the end. It is not brand versus brand at the end. It is SmackDown versus SmackDown.
So
So now we know no matter what, the winner's going to face,
well, thank you, sir. Thank you for that.
the winner is going to face the undisputed WWE champion, uh, depending on who it is after, um,
Nine champions.
who comes out at the end of the night champions as the winner. So before we go on to that match, who do you got, Randy or Cody?
Let me do my circle real quick, right? Because I have to. The good thing about this match, and I will give a definitive answer, but the good thing about this match is, no matter who wins, and no matter who wins on the championship match, they're gonna be good matches, right? Cody versus Punk, Cody versus Cena, Orton versus Punk, Orton versus Cena. It's gonna work either way. So WWE has booked themselves into a perfect corner where it's a win-win situation, money-wise, especially for SummerSlam, right? At the end of the day, I've been wanting to see Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, but I think it's too soon for Cody to get his chance again to fight. So I think Randy Orton runs it back one more time because of the way their last match went at in St. Louis, where John Cena pretty much stole the win, just like every other time recently. But he stole the win versus Randy Orton because all the fucking people interfered and they never counted when Randy Orton pinned John Cena. So I think it's going to be Orton fighting John Cena. That's my hot take. My hot take on this
Okay.
situation.
Um, I don't disagree with that. I could still see Cody and Cena taking it back at or running it back at SummerSlam because you need a big caliber match. I'm not taking anything against or taking anything away from Randy Orton because that's still a high caliber match. But in the terms of what's going on with John Cena's farewell tour, Randy already had his turn.
That's fair.
When did Cody have his turn to fight for his belt?
Not yet.
Exactly.
That's why I feel like they'd save it. That's why I feel like they'd save it A little bit more.
No, I think they would not because you have now think.
Hmm.
Let's put the thinking cap on, right? Put it on. If Cena leaves with the belt, or Cena doesn't leave with the belt, after that's the road to WrestleMania. That's where they save it.
At the very end.
Cody gets it back sometime between Rumble to Mania.
Let me ask you
They're not
this.
gonna they're not gonna put it
Let,
on Cody at SummerSlam. I will put money on, or my thing is Cody versus Cena, and Cena screws Cody over again.
let me ask you this. A real question. Do you think that Cena stays heel to finish out his run, or does he somewhere change? Because we only got 6 months, or really 5 months.
If you have me writing it, Cena's the heel all the way out.
Okay, okay. So you
If I
think
was
you
writing
think
the
you
show, Cena, I'm not thinking. I'm telling
no
you,
no I'm saying, but you thinking Cody wins this match and gets his shot at SummerSlam is what you're going with.
correct.
I think the reason I'll give you another pitch. We'll say Forbidden Door aspects without introducing other people from other companies.
Hmm.
You have if Cody Rhodes wins and beats Randy Orton, Randy Orton raises his hand and then starts beating the fuck out of him. No, stay with me on this one. Starts beating the fuck out of Cody Rhodes. SummerSlam, we have what happened at WrestleMania Philadelphia. Randy Orton, John Cena, night one versus CM Punk, Cody Rhodes. Whoever pins John Cena takes him, gets to fight him the next night. Make it interesting, right? It's the first ever SummerSlam two-night event.
Hmm.
I think if Roman Reigns isn't coming back to interject himself somewhere in between now and the end of the summer, then I feel like you're going to give people their money worth. You're going to have a tag team match. It don't have to be the main event of SummerSlam Night 1, but Cena
You want
and
to run
Orton,
back the same shit again
it's going to happen.
as WrestleMania 40? I don't think it's gonna happen.
I think it will because it's again, it's you.
So that means
They're hitting the
okay.
well.
That
They're
means
going into the
that means
well.
Cena has if that means Cena has to align with himself with somebody. Who's he aligning himself with?
The Rock.
Nobody. Nobody. The Rock's not coming back. One fever dream that everyone needs to get over with is The Rock screwed
No,
himself over or got screwed over and is not coming back.
no. I'm not saying that Rock's coming back. I'm saying like if you heard John Cena's promo, he said I aligned myself with Logan Paul just to take him off the table of being a contender. So if he lines himself with Randy Orton because they both hate Punk and Cody Rhodes and CM Punk are trying to keep them face, then having them team up against
So you're
Cena and
turning
Orton,
Orton heel?
yeah,
We
absolutely.
don't need another heel. And we don't need a heel Orton.
I think we don't need a heel, but he needs to be a heel. I think so.
I don't think
That'd
so.
be my wild speculation,
Yeah.
just random
I you know
fantasy
what?
booking. That's what
You
I'm
know what?
saying. Wild speculation, fantasy book.
I'll agree to disagree. Agree to disagree. I agree that you know what the your stipulation and your fantasy makes sense to an extent.
Yeah.
If they're gonna run it back, if they're gonna pull some old shit, if they're gonna do whatever, that's a decent timetable. I will give you that. That's a decent the enemy my enemy blah blah blah. But Randy doesn't have beef with Cody and Punk. That's the issue and the problem is because he's been very vocal about everything that's going on. So it would have to be a hard curve, a hard turn, or Cena doing a hard promo that's going to wake up Randy to be like, okay, I'll side with you with this.
Like I said, I don't think they'd side together like friends by any means.
No, but regardless, I don't like you, but if you need my help, you really got to convince me to help you.
That's where maybe that's where the
No,
misconstrue
it's
is.
not.
Yes,
You okay?
I'm telling you,
You're Cena and
you
I'm Orton. You kicked me in the nuts. Why do I want to help you fight somebody?
because this little jerk Cody Rhodes is getting another title defense over me, and I'm chasing your title reign.
But you have to sell it. Cena has to sell it to Orton for Orton to snap and be like, you know what, that does make sense. I'll help you out. This one time, I got your back.
It won't
Why?
happen right
Why?
away. That's what I'm saying. It won't happen right away. I just think that Orton loses to
But you're
Cody
not
Rhodes.
understanding. I agree. but Cena has to sell it to Orton. Cena has to promo it to Orton for Orton to be like, you know what? I'm over what you did. I'll help you this one time.
I think they
Let's
can.
go after this because yeah, you're right. He did screw me out of trying to be the 15-year-old, 15-time champion. But if you're telling me that fucking Randy's just gonna go over there because hey Cena, hey what's going on Cena, hey, you're not
If
no
Roman Reigns and CM
sell it.
Punk can be in a team at Survivor Series at War Games, I think Orton and John Cena can be a team for Cena's last run. That's all I'm saying.
But it has to be sold right.
Yes, it would have to make sense. I'm just wild speculating on what
Yeah,
I
well,
would do.
I'm trying to put some truth to your speculation because wild aspirations don't mean it's gonna fucking happen.
Well, yeah, I dream big. I have
You
nightmares.
dream big, but you have to understand that the way that they write, they don't write big. They write long stories. They don't write big long stories.
But that's the
That's the
beauty.
difference.
That's the beauty. That's what I'm saying. This is why it could work. And I understand. I get. I'm hearing what you're saying. You're not disagreeing, but you're trying to make sense of it with some truths.
Yeah,
But Cody and,
because
and
you can't just expect that
Yeah,
to happen.
Cody and Orton have a history, and John Cena and Orton have a bigger history. So
Hmm.
that's the only way I feel like it would work. And then CM Punk and 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 John Cena have a big history with CM Punk and Cena and Orton. So we'll see.
Yeah,
Regardless,
yeah,
I think we jumped around to the final match anyway. So
yeah.
are we saying that Cena wins in Saudi?
I would like to see Punk take it off of Cena. If we're gonna go dreaming big, Punk takes it off of Cena. Rollins takes it off of Punk.
Same night?
Same night.
Okay.
But does it make sense?
That part doesn't make
No.
sense with John Cena in the mix. It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. Because then you have Cena chasing again, which doesn't make sense for one.
Mm-mm.
And then number two, you have Rollins taking the belt from the other show when him and his crew are from the Raw show.
Yes.
So if you're going to interject Rollins, I think it's going to be when he pulls it off of Goldberg at Saturday Night Main Event.
That would probably make more sense.
Goldberg beats Gunther,
Gunther.
which doesn't make sense,
That doesn't make sense at all.
but he gets one over on him and then loses it right away because the henchmen come out, they beat the shit out of him, and then Rollins comes in and cashes in.
I prefer to see that. I would want to see.
Hmm.
I would prefer them to take it off of Gunther anyway, beat his ass
Hmm.
because Goldberg's a one-off, right?
Goldberg's not a one-off. Goldberg's on a last ride. At least put a little respect on that. I'm not saying a lot, but he is a Texas boy, so we got a little bit of respect that he lives in Murray.
No, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Well, the only person who can say
So,
last ride is an Undertaker, who's also a Texas boy.
it's on his shirt. Did you not see the when he
I
came
saw
out
a
with
new
his
shirt. I
fucking
saw,
baseball
yeah,
tee? Yeah, it
yeah,
says
yeah, yeah.
last ride. Yeah. But okay, Gunther beats the shit out of Goldberg. Rollins not in the mix. Um, Gunther beats up Goldberg so bad that that's when his son comes out and fucking starts throwing himself at Gunther, and we get his son entering into the E. Excuse me. That's another plausible effect. But I think
Don't want to see
Rollins
that,
has to
but
get in there. Rollins has to get in there somewhere for the belt
yes, and you're right.
with the briefcase.
It can't be versus Cena.
Mm-mm.
Again, I'll reiterate what John Cena said in his promo. I'm not worried about Seth
In
Rollins.
CM Punk's promo,
No, in John Cena's promo,
yeah,
he
in CM
said,
Punk's promo.
I'm not worried about him coming after me because when I leave and he cashes in on the other champion, there'll only be one champion in WWE, and it's going to be him. So I'm not worried about him taking it off of me because he knows when I leave and the end of the year, when I leave, I'm taking this belt with me, and there's only one belt in WWE, and that's whoever's holding that world championship, and so he's going to take that. So I can see
There's
that.
yeah,
That's a long play.
yeah,
So.
but I don't see there only being one belt. They're gonna
No,
recreate another belt.
they'll bring it for the because it's brand. They have the
It's
brand split completely. So
yes,
yeah,
it's two brands, so they're gonna make another. They're not gonna call it the undisputed anymore. They're not gonna call it Universal. They'll have another name for it and another fancy belt.
I think it'll just go back to WWE. That's it,
WWE champ.
WWE Championship. So
Which I'm all for. But like I said, in a dream world, I like to see CM Punk win over Cena and take the belt, and then right out of Saudi with the belt on his shoulder. But I really think that Cena's going to go all the way through this whole run with the championship belt. He's going to run it all the way through, and he's going to leave as a heel.
final pick. For this is revert back to the first match. Orton, Cody. Who wins?
Cody.
Who wins? Cena, Punk.
Cena.
Okay. So,
You.
uh,
Orton.
Orton,
Cody.
Orton,
Cena. Punk.
Cena.
Okay.
Well, we'll
It's gonna
touch
be
back on this.
interesting.
We'll touch it back on Thursday.
Bring it back.
Hint back. We'll hint back at it
No, no, no. This is for next Top Rope Tuesday. We'll just interject this in there because remember, this happens on Saturday.
this
So we don't know
Saturday.
nothing
This
until Saturday.
Saturday.
That's right. Maybe we'll do a short. We'll throw out a short.
Let's throw a short.
We'll,
Let's throw a
we'll throw out a
short out.
short out there and be like, I was wrong. Or you were wrong.
Or we were both wrong. Fuck.
Yeah. Yes.
And you know
Yes.
what? I really truly do hope that we both say we were both wrong. We might have been right on one instance, but we were both
Hmm.
wrong in the long term of what ends up happening. So I'm here for it. Again, that's the beauty of wrestling and what's going on. They're really building it up for the summer. But
If you can't already tell, I mean, we're fans. We get excited about this shit. We love this. This is what we love to watch, what we live for, what we deal with. This is part of our personalities, man. And you have to be pretty, I don't know, crazy dumb to really do that. But think about all the other people that have their things that they like. Football fanatics that follow every team and every trade and every player that do their thing. Basketball fanatics, baseball fanatics, hockey fanatics. We just have our sport, which is wrestling.
think of it like this, like you just said. People have those other sports, and in all those other sports, they have fantasy football, fantasy basketball, fantasy
Hmm.
baseball. Well, we're doing fantasy wrestling, right?
Yeah, yeah. The only way we know how.
Exactly, exactly.
By getting at each other's throats saying, "You're wrong. No, you're wrong. And you're stupid. No, you're stupid."
Fuck you. Pull up the receipts, motherfucker.
That's right. That's right. If you're gonna come with it correct.
Come with it, correct. We'll find out, right?
Damn.
We'll find out next week, or maybe do a little short on Monday just to kind of touch back on what really just the main matches and whatever happened that we see this Saturday, which is gonna be pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Hmm.
But you did talk
I'm
about
excited.
earlier today possibly opening that Forbidden Door.
And it's crazy. Just kind of looking through the rosters. Thanks in courtesy to the
Oh,
SmackDownHotel.com.
got it.
Yes. Uh, and there's a lot of wrestlers that are on there that I didn't think were still wrestling, but they just don't have enough TV time on both shows, on both programs, on both wrestling companies. So I kind of want to just kind of touch a little bit on this since we always talk about stuff. Let's go with current roster things and just give throw some matches out there, man. Because not only do we get to see what is written and put out on the shows, it's fun to fucking dream, like man. But if it's possible, try to use those that aren't already been flip flop around
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because you have a bunch that have gone to AEW, you've got a bunch that have gone to WWE that were in former shows. But if you can use homegrown per se, or those that haven't really moved, who would you put against who? But I mean, we're going to end up talking about those that have already moved anyway, just because we have respect for those people as well. But so give me a match. Give me a match.
I'm gonna reiterate this. I said it last Tuesday.
Tuesday or Thursday.
Miz versus MJF.
True.
I've been wanting to see this match. Again, I feel like you've seen iterations of what the Miz could do if the reins are taken off, the leash is taken off, and MJF doesn't have a leash, and you see what he can do in AEW. I think they can both talk. They have a
Hmm.
very similar style. They're deceivingly good wrestlers,
Hmm.
right? People don't give them a lot of credit, but they can do Iron Man matches. The Miz is a two-time Grand Slam champion. MJF
Yeah.
is a former World Heavyweight Champion, former TNT champion. I think he was an international champion as well, or continental champion, one or two,
What are the two?
round two. And he's been a tag team champion. He was a Ring of Honor tag team champ. So I think their credentials are pretty close, and MJF still has a long way to go because he's very young and he has a lot more time. But I would like to see him go. If I was going to do a Forbidden Door, I would like to. This one would have to be a build-up. You would have to let him talk.
International. You were right.
Right.
International champion.
This would have to be a build-up as far
He
as
was not TNT
he wasn't
champion.
TNT. Okay, so international. Okay, but this would have to be a build-up for this particular match. They would have to at least be on each other's shows a month leading up to the match for it to really build up because they're great talkers. So I'd
Mm-hmm.
really love to see that one day happen sometime in the future, maybe if ever the bridge is mended and it's built and they can cross and do cross promotional stuff. This would be something that the wrestling world would fucking lose their mind. One, if ever there was ever kind of any partnership between AEW and WWE, which would fucking blow people's brains up, right? People would fucking implode. But I would love to see the first one of the first matches if they're both healthy and they're both ready to go. MJF versus The Miz. That'd be my
I'm
goal.
gonna take your MJF and I'm gonna one up you with LA Knight. Yeah, because he is a hell of a good promo talker as well. Because he made his way up the reins in TNA and then got the big push over to WWE. It took him a minute. He was in NXT doing whatever he had to do to get himself known, and then was able to push himself away from that Dupree gimmick that he was doing over there as the male models manager for whatever reason. But hey, shout out to MXM, man. They're still doing it big over there in Ring of Honor and stuff, man. I love those guys.
it
They're
works.
hilarious,
It
dude.
works over there at Ring of Honor.
It
It
does.
works. It works.
In Ring of Honor and AEW TV, it works. Their gimmicks able to push over there because they don't. It's too. It's not savvy enough for WWE. You know, like
Yeah.
that one's a little too like
What's
kiddish,
what's the
childish
word? It's
gimmicks.
campy. It's a campy style of between gay and homophobic, but not. And you know they can
Hmm.
play. They can play. You can teeter the line like those funny, like those spoofs, right? It's a spoof.
Hmm.
That's what it is. It's a spoof.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And shout out to those that actually still openly put themselves out there, especially in the wrestling ring, because AEW is a big contentment on where they, you know what,
they're an
let your colors
ally.
fly,
They call
man.
it an ally. An ally.
Yeah, there you go. They're an ally. Let your colors fly. You know, do what you do. You know, they did have Sonny on there for the longest time. I forgot Sonny's last name.
Sunny Kiss. What do you call her? Sunny
There you
Kiss.
go, Sonny Kiss. Yes, and hey, man, they put on a show.
The first women's champion in AEW was. You remember?
I don't.
The trans. The what's her name? We saw her. She was
Nyla
funny.
Rose.
Nyla Rose.
Nyla Rose. Yes. So you know, hey, shout out to them, man. Shout out to them breaking barriers. You know.
AEW, and no matter what people say and how much shit people talk about them, they do fucking break barriers, and they are fucking. They're real supporters
Hmm.
of not only the LGBTQT whatever. I don't know how to say it. No offense, but and also the African Americans
No
and
homo.
minorities and if they like they're big fans. Like a lot of minorities have held championship belts in AEW in a short amount of time compared to what it is in WWE. So
The Hurt Syndicate.
yeah, Swerve Strickland,
Hmm.
all
Yeah.
the fucking Japanese wrestlers,
Yes.
fucking Bandito, fucking holding champion Lucha Bros. Like
Hmm.
there's a lot.
Yeah. There is. So yeah, my push is for LA Knight versus MJF. Full circle, coming back from that rant. Uh,
Fair.
just because you know the shit talking is gonna be there, and they're gonna go promo for promo, and that's gonna be pretty cool. And I would also give them, you know, at least a month to go back and forth and piddle paddle with each other before they go and try to tear each other apart. So
How about you give me one of your fantasy books because you have the roster maybe up possibly.
I always have the the best website in the world, the SmackDownHotel.com.
Hmm.
You know what? It's I forgot a couple just looking at all these names. I'm like, man, now I just want to see some randos like just to like fantasy book a dynamite or a pay per view with just random ass people. Like would man, I wouldn't know where to start.
Anyway, how about this? Let's go back and forth. I will say a name, whether AEW, WWE, and you say who you think would be go good against them from the other company.
Okay, cool.
Karrion Cross.
Mm, mm. Carrying cross. Wardlow.
I would like to see it. I would love to see it
Okay,
actually.
okay. Let me give you a name, and you
Okay.
give me one. Mark Briscoe.
Mark Briscoe. Shit. Let me run it back. Jacob Fatu.
Nice, nice. That would be interesting.
Now I'll give you a quick little tidbit. The Briscoe brothers fought Jacob Fatu and one of his Samoan cousins
Hmm.
in GCW in tag team match.
Okay.
That's why it popped in
Okay.
my head a little quicker than usual. I'm not gonna tell you I didn't have help, but I remember seeing that match. So
Yeah.
and I think and they fought and it was a great match. So
Okay. Okay. Your turn.
um, give me a second. Hangman.
Oh, I thought you using a WWE one. So you going Hangman? My turn to go with WWE.
Hmm.
Hangman. Mm, for funsies, Uncle Howdy,
Uncle Howdy. Okay.
Bo
Bo
Dallas.
Dallas.
Uh huh.
I wonder how that would work.
If he gave them time, Bo Dallas would do his creepy shtick and lead up to his match with him.
Okay, that would need a build up.
Hmm.
Okay,
It would need a build up.
give me a name.
I'm giving you AEW. You give me WWE.
No, you can mix it up whatever you want. I'll say AEW,
Well,
WWE.
I like
Whatever.
going back and forth like that. It's fun. It's fun. So, I'll give you WWE. You give me AEW. Let's go with mm, someone worth watching. Shit. It's because you don't want to go after the main hitters. Like you already
Yes.
know who you gonna put John Cena against. you know.
I want to see Seth Rollins versus Omega. Yeah, no
Yeah,
shit. All of us do.
yes, yes. That's always called out. Let's do something a little off the cuff with that. Um, give me JD McDonough.
JD McDonough. Man, I want to say Zack Sabre Jr.
Ooh, he's not AEW though.
He makes his appearances. I know he's not
He does.
truly fully, but I would like to see Zack Sabre Jr. versus. If not, okay, JD McDonough, Sammy Guevara.
Nice, nice.
Willing to take the high risk, both of them.
Yes.
Both great technical wrestlers.
Hmm.
Small on the smaller side, so their size comparison and their speed would match equally, and it'd just really be a good fast paced match. I think.
I like that. I like that.
I'm gonna give you an easy one. I think this should be an easy one. Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke. I don't know about easy because I mean you can go any which way with what when it comes to having a Japanese star because you can throw a luchador at him, you can
Good.
throw a face at him. I mean a regular. Um.
You can go a newly New Japan star in AEW, like Okada or
New,
something like that.
okay. That's where you want to go with that. Okay,
That's
okay.
right, because I
Well,
they have had former matches 10, 15 years ago when one of them was when they were both super young, but it hasn't been seen
hmm
again. So, but I'll say
honestly,
Shinsuke.
I would go like Shinsuke versus Takeshita if we want to keep it
Man,
Japanese.
I was gonna save Takeshita for someone bigger like Braun Breaker.
Oh,
That's what I would go in that aspect. But I say Shinsuke. You say Takeshita? That'd be a good
hmm
one. That'd be a good one.
yeah.
Draw me one.
Uh, I want tag team is gonna be a little tough.
Let's do real tag teams. How about that?
Young Bucks.
Whew. Man, I
Told
obviously
you.
I go to Usos. That's, even though they're not together
Yeah.
technically, I go to Usos. I've been wanting to see it.
Okay.
I'd say the Usos. Um, you don't watch NXT, do you?
Off and on.
Okay. Well, I will say. How about this? Roxanne Perez.
Sky Blue.
Nice,
Mm-hmm.
nice. That'd be a good match.
Mm-hmm. Because you can imagine, like, the reason why we're saying these things is because we've watched some of this enough to where we can be like, you know what? I could see how this plays out. I could see they're gonna grapple for a bit. I can see that they're gonna throw each other around a bit. They're gonna give each other a good couple kicks. They're gonna, you know, slam each other around a little bit, throw each other outside of the ring, tope suicida, jump off of the corner at least a couple times or at least one time in the whole match, try to do their finisher, block their finisher. It's going to give us drama. You want a good match or at least a good pairing, a dance partner per se that we've said plenty of times before that are going to give you that, oh, wow, in the match. And that's why oh, I could see that. Oh, I could see that because it's not just person versus person. It's also the cadence, the
There,
dance of what they do. So
there
we see
is
this.
there is some thought behind this. It's not just us saying random names by any
Yeah.
means. Yeah, there's some thought because it's more like what would I be willing to pay to see, right? I'm not
Hmm.
gonna pay to see the fucking Bandito versus another luchador just because. I'm not gonna do
Yeah.
that. I want to see something different, right? It's a forbidden door.
Hmm.
So who you got? Who you got?
Okay. Liv Morgan.
Oh shit.
Mm.
Uh, give me a second. Jamie Hayter.
Hmm. Not bad. I would one up that with Penelope Ford.
I would put Penelope Ford versus Io Sky.
Eh, I'm not a big fan of EO.
Okay. Okay.
Not a big fan of EO, but I could see it. I could see it. Okay. Okay. Uh,
I got one for you.
Gimme.
Powerhouse Hobbs.
Oh, Powerhouse Hobbs. Um, I don't want to say him because he probably has some kind of. Mm, I was gonna save him for someone else. Um, Powerhouse, Damian Priest.
I would say an NXT guy, Obafemi. That's what I was gonna
Okay.
go with. So some again, some little different, still WWE, but NXT brand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Throw
Okay.
one. Throw one.
Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne. Oof. Cesaro. No, Yuta.
Okay.
Smaller guys who can throw down and get their ass beat both ways.
Pete Dunne, Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah, we've seen that one before.
Mm, mm,
That'd be a
mm,
good one. That'd be a good one. The bruiserweight versus the fucking technician.
mm-hmm. Because Bruiserweight also has some technical ability as well.
Absolutely. I want to throw a familiar name who's been in both companies. Samoa Joe.
Ooh, Samoa Joe. 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 Joe.
Joe is gonna kill you.
Mm, mm,
I'll give you my hot take.
Karrion Cross.
Karrion Cross. I like to see that. I was actually gonna say Roman Reigns,
Okay. Okay.
but
I
Karrion
mean,
Cross would be a good one too.
yeah. I mean, I would say Samoa Joe, LA Knight. I want to say they tangled in TNA before though.
Yeah, we never got to see Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns. That one time. We saw it one time. So
Uh
I would
huh.
like to run that one back, but I think it'd be pretty good. Um, go.
Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy. Oh shit. I want someone who can fight a slow style, so Sami Zayn.
Okay.
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens.
Shit, I would like to see Samoa Joe versus Kevin Owens. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Roosh.
Roosh. Yeah, I like that one.
Dominic Mysterio.
Ooh, shit. I might have to go back. Sami Zayn. I mean, Sammy Guevara. I like to see that one. Now,
Hmm.
I can't. I'm trying to think of another person.
How about Nick Wayne against Dominic?
I can see that one. That'd be pretty good.
Hmm.
Let's go with some heavy hitters. Osprey.
Hmm. We never got Osprey Punk.
We never got Osprey Punk. Okay. Okay. What am I saying? It?
Dexter Loomis.
Dexter Loomis. Christian Cage.
Nice, nice, because that kind of works.
Yes, it does.
That kind of really work. Yeah. Okay.
Lance Archer.
Fuck. Out Damian Priest.
I would see that with Damon Priest. Yeah.
Motor City Machine Guns.
Shit. Kyle Fletcher and Josh Alexander from the Don Callis family.
Okay.
um, the Acclaimed, if they were still together.
Yeah. Why?
I'd like to see that. That'd be pretty good.
Um. Timeless Tony Storm.
Charlotte Flair.
Okay. Tiffany Stratton.
Penelope Ford. Actually, no. Tiffany Stratton. Jamie Hayter.
There you go. That's a better fit for Hater.
How about maybe throw more women? Thunder Rosa.
Mmm. Spicy. Um. Bailey.
Nice. I'd like to see that one.
Alexa Bliss.
Harley Cameron.
Okay. Okay.
How about Chelsea Green?
Mina Shirakawa.
Yeah, I'd see that one.
Or um. Damn it! I lost Chris Statlander.
Both tall women. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got one for you. Nia
Okay.
Jax.
Willow.
Right? Version 1, version 2.
That's see, who's gonna fucking fuck it all up. Let's go. Okay. Shibata
Shibata.
from the Ops. Shibata.
Oh, I know Shibata. Alistair Black.
Ooh.
They never tangled each other, so I would like to see
No.
that.
No, they did not. I like that.
Um, Hook.
Ooh. Austin Theory.
Okay, go.
Carmelo Hayes.
Oh shit, Ricochet.
Mm,
Or one of the top flight kids.
Shelton Benjamin.
Really?
Hmm.
I think that's such a mismatch.
No, they do. It's basically Carmelo Hayes is basically young Shelton, dude.
Yeah, but the fucking power and size is fucking significantly different. That's what I'm trying to see what I want. They had to be the same, but I I have my questions on that
Yeah,
one.
one of the top flight kids works. Yeah.
Yeah. How about? Give me a second. Finn Balor.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Roderick Strong.
Okay.
Roddy.
Ready?
Uh-huh. Who Santos Escobar.
Santos. Shit. What? Beast Mortos.
Oh.
That one I'll keep Lucha.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
about? I'm running through the Jey Uso.
Mm. Jey Uso. But mm, that one's uh Zay from Private Party. Brother Zay.
Thursday. Okay.
Brother Zay. Because he's a little mouthy too. He
Yeah.
can fly around. Hmm.
Throwing. Throwing.
Uh, your the Outrunners.
Oh, 80s throwback. Um, I put American Made.
Okay.
I got one for you.
Mm,
I got one for you.
mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Oh shit, I fucking lost it. Give me a second. My fucking brain went bloop. What the fuck? Chad Gable.
Chad Gable. Chad Gable.
I have a thought for him.
Kyle O'Reilly.
I was gonna say Claudio.
Did they ever wrestle before?
No,
Cesaro.
they
Oh,
wrestled when he was with the Bar and he was with American Alpha.
there you go.
That happened once or twice for tag team
Okay.
championships.
Trying to run that back. Okay.
Yeah, singles.
Okay. Swerve Strickland.
Mm. Cody Rhodes.
Oh. Okay. That's that. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, I would. That's the first person I would think of
Yeah.
for Swerve.
Okay.
How about let's make it an easy one. Well, I won't say easy because it's a little harder. AJ Styles.
That's not. That's not. That's hard. I'm all wearing a shirt too. That's fucking.
They don't
AJ
want
Styles.
none. They don't want none.
Shit. Because he spaced kind of half the fucking roster because he was Bullet Club.
TNA, New Japan, so and the Indies.
Mm, Matt Sydal.
I wasn't running back with Omega, but
Okay. But I wasn't trying to do that. I wasn't trying to keep it New Japan. Okay. Kill Switch.
Gunther,
Oh.
big guy, big guy, powers, slow. Um, let's start winding it down. John Cena.
Jay White.
John Cena and Jay White. Interesting. Okay.
Haven't thrown him in the mix.
I would have said Jay White and Seth Rollins, but
That'd be good too.
yeah.
Jack Perry.
Jack Perry. Well, you want to see it, CM Punk, right? My doesn't. But actually, I didn't think about him when we said Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio, Jack Perry. I think it'd be pretty good. Uh,
Darby Allen.
oh man, that's a hard one. That's a hard one.
Hmm.
Um, Darby Allin, Penta. Actually, you know what? I'm running my head.
Carmelo Hayes.
You know what? I'm gonna mix it up. And I think they fought maybe fought before. Ethan Page.
Oh. And yeah, they have fought before.
Yeah.
Hmm.
How about Adam Cole?
Baby. Adam Cole. Mm. Jay Uso.
Jey Uso. Okay.
Hmm. Joe Hendry.
Shit. MJF.
Yeah.
One's a fucking idiot and one talks a lot of shit. I think it worked out pretty good. What the fuck is his name? I lost it. He's with Seth Rollins right now. Not Braun Breaker. Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed. Trying to think of another big boy that's there like that. Mm, that would have been Powerhouse Hobbs.
I was gonna say Powerhouse Hobbs would have probably been, or even Wardlow would have been pretty good on that one.
Yeah.
Even Samoa Joe.
Juice Robinson.
Woof. Juice.
The Miz.
I was honestly gonna go. I'll revert it back and say fucking Seth Rollins. That'd be a good
Okay.
one. That'd be a good
Okay.
one.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, Okada.
Randy Orton.
Man, I would like to see Okada. I would like to see Takeshita and Randy Orton. I think that'd be really good. But Okada, he's a big guy too, so that wouldn't be bad.
Gunther and Okada.
Gunther and Okada would be good too. Shit, damn.
Hmm.
How about CM Punk?
Mm. If I had to pin him against somebody, uh, did we ever get Punk versus Jericho?
No, that'd be a good one.
Hmm.
And let's make these two our last one. Our last one.
Brody King.
Oh, fuck. Drew McIntyre.
Nice.
And let's round it out with, and I like to keep it, try to keep the higher ups out of it on that one, but shit, running through my head. Fuck. Becky Lynch.
Mm. Becky Lynch. Let's go with Mercedes Monet.
There you go. There you go. So, hey, this is our little Forbidden Door random card. Obviously, we're obviously, like Fern said earlier, we're big wrestling fucking marks. We fucking love
Hmm.
wrestling, and we would love to maybe one day see this a crossover without someone having to jump ship to go to another fucking company, but more like just a partnership. Maybe one day down the line, who knows, right?
Yep.
Wrestling is in the blood. We love it a fucking whole lot, and we love to see these matches. And if you have any suggestions, and we've missed a lot. There's tons we missed.
Oh,
There's the rosters are
plenty.
fucking deep, and there's a lot of people who haven't been featured. And like you saw us trying to do, we try to stay away from those super main eventers. And if they are main eventers, you're trying to mix them up with people who
Dude, we could have
maybe a
thrown
few times.
Sheamus in a bunch of them. We didn't.
Exactly, right?
Hmm.
Rusev, all
Yeah.
kinds of people, right? So, but
Sean Spears.
Sean Spears, right? But we appreciate you tuning in another Tuesday night,
Top Rope Tuesday.
Top Rope Tuesday. Make sure to hit phenomenal forearm on that follow and subscribe button. Follow us on the socials at Beyond the Ropes Pod. Anything to close out for?
I'm ready for the weekend. Let's go. I want to see some Night of Champions drama. Let's do it.
That's right. Well, make sure to stay tuned for more stories, more violence.
Oh my God.
Woo!